What is going on, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood Super Saiyan here, hanging out, doing different things like always. Not gonna lie, I probably should have tried blowing my nose before I started up, but regardless, I am here. If you're wondering why I'm late today, read the title. I was hanging out with my grandma and family members at a restaurant earlier, and so yeah, we're just gonna hang out. Today's plans consist of, we're gonna check out the Subnautica 2 thing because I saw it when I logged on, and then I reinstalled Unreal Engine, so we're gonna be doing some learning and doing some game development stuff. But let's see what Subnautica is cooking up real quick. This is the multiplayer functionality. Oh, dude, looks good.
Players really latched onto isolation, and that became so essential to Subnautica. Now with Subnautica 2, with a fresh start, new engine, we thought to ourselves, like, okay, this is the moment where we can still make a game that can deliver on isolation for people that want that, but we can also have multiplayer.
One of the most requested features of Subnautica is multiplayer.
When you want
Yes,
to
it
build
is.
a truly immersive, good multiplayer experience for the players, is to build it from the ground up. Our very first internal demos that we did after a few weeks of development were multiplayer, and every single feature that we made since then has been multiplayer capable.
And the important distinction there is that any part of the game isn't going to require cooperative play. But if I want to come along and bring a friend, they can totally participate with me in every moment along the way. We never wanted to encroach on someone's game that just is like, I want to play solo. We never wanted to have the moment where you had to pull the switches in tandem. That's never the way we want it to be. Optional co-op, start to finish.
As it should be.
Subnautica 2 is completely playable on portable gaming machines and handheld devices. We have a large team that's dedicated to optimizing performance, and we're taking it extremely seriously. Our development philosophy has always been that the game should be playable anywhere with anybody. I'm playing it every night on my Steam Deck before I go to bed, and it's a great experience. It's just a fantastic device to be able to play these games.
Nice.
Multiplayer game does bring a new set of challenges in terms of technical animation. There is more emphasis on both the first-person look of the game and the third-person.
We have omnidirectional movement with pretty free camera. If you're looking up and going backwards, the feet are in your view, but if all of a sudden you want to go forward and downwards, that body has to get out the way.
For our tools, we use a control rig that encompasses both third-person and first-person perspectives.
Say we're swimming, so the hands can be this shallow of a motion, whereas in third person, you want to get that full range of motion. It's more work, but it also informs more.
Okay.
The most fun thing I worked on for co-op was the dive elevator.
The dive elevator just adds a lot to co-op in general. I realized that it would be really cool to be able to both go with friends on it, but also to be able to attach stuff to it. So as we started developing the prototype, we realized that that would make it even more meaningful. Be able to load it up and then shoot it down to depths and then come back up with all the stuff you collected down there.
What? Dude, imagine building the base. You got
we
like
decided to go for a system
spot
where
you need to get to,
it
like
would be
more
easy as
below
possible
your
for
base
people
or
to join
whatever.
each other in their games.
You can either convert a single player game to multiplayer and continue from your single player game, or you can start a new multiplayer game. You can invite your friends via your normal platform friends list, or we have our own friends list where you can invite your cross-platform friends.
It's really simple to jump into games with your friends. It's really simple to continue games with your friends or let them continue the game and for you to pick it up later.
I think we managed to create a very seamless...
Wait. They might be doing what Grounded did, where you have a world and you share it with your friends and then anyone... Oh my gosh, dude, more games like this. More games like Grounded and Subnautica, survival games that are set in these 4-player max, 5-player max co-ops. This is the way you make games nowadays. If any future developer out there is watching this, thinking about making a game like this, that's how you need to do it. You need to be able to let people have access to to the same world if they're sharing, because, you know, people have jobs, they have different stuff to do. Like my group, we only can we can, for the most part, only hang out like once a week, but we still want to play throughout the week, you know? And like, personally, with some of the games, I have to go and then buy a server so they can get on and play at a different time. This saves people money and allows people to play. Plus, people that aren't super into like games like I am aren't gonna have any option, because they're not gonna go out and buy a server, because that's ridiculous. You know, that's not everyone's capable of doing that. This is a feature for games like this that needs to be in every game. There are so many games before it that could have benefited from a system like this. Minecraft, there's tons. I'm not gonna sit here and list them off, but like Return to Moria would be another one. Like any game that's like a survival or like a co-op thing where it's like a shared world like that, where it has a set number. I think, heck, even a Shrouded would have benefit from that with their only 10-player limit. Small Land, like any game that's like that, dude. Such a W system. Hey, thank you, Kenobi. Yeah, it's happy birthday to the grandma.
It's an easy experience that I hope the players.
It's grandma's birthday, everybody. We went out and got some tacos
Co-op is
today.
A really fun new thing that we can explore.
I just enjoy seeing how different types of gameplay it opens up for.
You can team up and split off and gather resources like, oh, I found this, help me gather, I don't have enough.
The heck was that structure? That's a dope structure.
Split off it.
What are we looking at here? That's awesome. Now I'm just waiting for my ride. Well, I'm glad you made it. That's good news.
Gather resources like, oh, I found this, help me gather, I don't have enough inventory, help me over here.
I love messing with my friends, giving out responsibilities. I don't like to scan things, so I'm very happy that someone else will scan all the stuff for me in Subnautica 2. I think it's just really fun to find ways to
shared database. Okay.
To break out work
like
and just
that.
explore, and also to be scared
Me too.
together.
Me too, Konami.
Play one run completely solo and isolated and say, that was great. Now I can't wait to do it again with my friends. And that just seemed like a really logical fit for Subnautica 2.
You know, putting beside their, you know, the higher ups bull crap that they were pulling and all of the, you know, legal stuff going on with Subnautica 2, with, you know, the original founders and the people that took over, with all that crap going on, putting that aside, everything I've seen for this game, and the lower end people, the people actually working on the game, the people that don't own the game, are putting in W grade work here. This game looks really, really good, and I cannot wait to play it. I'm still a little disappointed it got pushed back, but if it needs to be pushed back, that's fine. It's a bit of an argument whether or not it really needed that with the whole thing, but putting that aside, this looks so much fun, and I can't wait to play it later this year. You know, I'm still keeping up with it, and it's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait to play this with my friends. The first Subnautica game was absolutely amazing. One of the best survival games ever made, hands down. And it's just like, this is gonna take it to the next level, I think. You're probably getting off for work by the time I get home and online, so talk to you later. All right, sounds good. I'll be here for a little bit if you're wanting to hang out. Where I was just reacting to this, and then we're gonna. I got Unreal Engine installed again, and we're gonna be playing around, learning some gameplay stuff. So, if that sounds interesting, hang out. Otherwise, I'll chat with you later, mate. Thanks for stopping by. I am gonna take a second to blow my nose though, because it's driving me crazy. My trash can's conveniently not over here now. Ugh, I need to move it. Alright, I'm gonna throw it on the be right back screen, because, you know, I don't want you guys seeing me blow my nose. That's gross. So give me a second. All right, I'm back. Anyways, W's from Subnautica, guys. W's from Subnautica. I think they're, despite everything, I think they're doing a good job. So. So, we're gonna be watching along with this video here. So I'll go ahead and put it up on this screen. Actually, before I do that, I want to show you guys some of the things I've been messing around with, and I'll go ahead and pull these up from last time. Okay, there we go. Show you guys some things that I kind of messed with last the other day, and stuff. As you can see, I got a cube here, got a door here, and I got a light, and so I got these you know, chilling in here. So I'm not at the level where I could really make anything, right? I'm not at the level where I really know stuff. I need to learn more about blueprints and things like that. So I think I'm gonna do some live stuff, you know, learning this, because I want to get to the point where I understand the nodes a little bit, and when I think of something, I can begin implementing it, and if I run into problems, I can troubleshoot and try to figure it out. But I don't have enough knowledge of Unreal Engine in that sense to really be able to do a whole lot. I've played around with it in the past. You guys have seen that. But yeah, so that's kind of our focus. So a lot of the stuff may be a tad bit more on the boring side at first, but once we start getting and going, we'll start creating some cool stuff. However, for the first time, I have kind of created some kind of more cooler stuff. A lot of stuff in the past I was working on, like terrain, like auto materials, things like that, and I still couldn't quite get that down, because there's a point where it starts getting like super advanced after that, and I never really got part of it. So I'm gonna be pivoting a little bit, and my learning of that off of that, and more on the basics of Unreal Engine, and really try to understand the blueprint system and start just functionality. I want to see if I can start I can learn that and then start applying it to like making characters and like that sort of thing, and then I can work on more bigger and broader stuff like environments and stuff later in my stuff, because right now I think my focus is just learning the basics, and then applying it to, you know, objects kind of like these, different things, creating different systems, and getting to the point where I could make like a simple small game, and then you know, and then test my abilities by making a small game, and then branching out from there, and keep going. So as you can see, I got some stuff here. The bench one's not really a part of. So I am currently using Unreal Engine 5 7.1, which is the latest version. It no longer comes with the starter content, guys. I have it in here. So if you're thinking about doing Unreal Engine, I do want to let you know that if you install the latest version of the engine, before that there was a thing, you know, a bunch of starter things that gave you like some props, like a chair, door, some stuff to mess with. And if you want those things, you need to go back and obviously download a previous version of the engine and migrate this file over to this version. So basically those things, I made actors, so you have to make your own actors and then apply basically, you know, the starter content props. You apply these because these are just like skins pretty much, and I'll show you guys what I mean here in a little bit. But we got some of the stuff here. So we got the light and box and things like that. So whoops, didn't mean to do that. So we have a cube, we have a door, and a light right now, as you can see in our editor. And then basically I'm going to show you what they did. I'm going to start with the door because this was a tutorial, and then I basically kind of copied the tutorial a little bit and did the cube and the light on my own. So if we go to the door here, look at the viewport. This is the viewport in Unreal Engine. So we have a mesh in here, which is the door frame, right? Which is the frame of the door, and then there's an attack. There's another mesh that is attached to that, which is what the door is set to. Hey, what's going on, Rob? Welcome, my dude. We're messing around with Unreal Engine a little bit, and so we have the a smaller mesh attached to the frame, and then it has a box around it, which is like a this is a collision box, which is important, and I'll explain. So this box, when the player walks through it, I can tell Unreal Engine to detect that, and why that's important. If we go into the event graph, we have a node based system here. Yeah, you can. I can't join your Discord. You can't? You should be able to. You're like one of my best bros. You should be able to join. Why? Hold on, chat. This is important. We need to fix this. This cannot be allowed. Why am I not seeing the list of people on my side? Where is that at? Show chat. Not show chat. Where's the? Maybe if I go. Oh, I need to go on to it. Okay, there's that. Okay, there's you. Yeah, you still have you still have the 100 HP roll. The mates. Yeah, but you're also on PlayStation, so I don't know how that applies. The mates general chat, I moved it upward, so on the thing, so it's higher up. You should be able to see it. That's weird. Well, because now because it would be the mates general stuff first, and then all the other ones are below that. So I don't know why you can't see the chat. You should be able to join. You can see it, it just won't allow me to join any of the things. That is weird. I haven't messed with any of your stuff. I mean, I could take the roles away real quick and then reapply them. But, see, let me go to two screens here. I clicked on you. You still have the roles. You should be able to join. See, you have it. Here, well, here, I'll do full screen this way. I'll move my head. See, you still have the roles. So I don't know why. Huh. I mean, I haven't changed the settings since I set it up. See, if I go here to edit permissions, see right here. Right, this is where I do that at, right? Oh yeah, see right here, got 1 HP, can view channel, text, send threads, all that stuff. See, connect channel permissions, you're able to join, and that's the role that you have. And then the only difference between this one and this one is this one lets you invite people. Use Soundbird, use external. It gives you a little bit of extra ability, but you also have that one too. You have both of them. So I don't know why it's not letting you join. Like I said, I could... Can I send you like a invite to voice? I don't know if this will work since you're on PlayStation. I can try. Let's see here. I sent you a link to join directly, but that's about as best as I could do. Other than I could take these roles away and I can reapply them, but I don't know why that would make any difference. Dude, Sony, PlayStation, you need a full integration of Discord on your thing. Just having, like, first off, the fact that people can't access the chat, see like chats and PlayStation is ridiculous, for one. And two, like, seeing the channels thing is absolutely broken. Please fix your shit. Like, it's super annoying. That's why I don't use it over on PlayStation. I use it on my computers because it doesn't like to work sometimes, and it's super annoying. Fix your crap. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I don't know why it's not working. I could try moving to a different channel. You could try join here. I'll move to General 1. See if you can join me in that one. I don't know why the Rubber Room wouldn't work, but I guess just if there's any channel that you can join in on 1HP, go ahead and join it and let me know that you're in it, and I'll just move to it. No matter where you are, even if you're in like just the other rooms, because I would love to be able to talk to you, man. Anyways, like I was saying, guys, with this, if I go to the viewport, this box here, when the player walks into it, it detects. So basically, I've gotten the box component in here. So when our character overlaps with it, it gets the third-person character and gets the controller, and it enables input. And when the player stops overlapping it, it disables the input. And then I set up that when you press the E key, it'll play this timeline, which will get its rotation, and it applies it to that object. So you've probably already guessed what that means. So that means now if I come up here, I can open and close the door, and the door doesn't just snap open because it plays off that time frame. So that's pretty cool. So you can probably guess that with some of these other things like the light, it's kind of like this is all the same with the overlap with the box. So as you can see, we have the box and stuff, but we have this light source, which is kind of different in there. And what we're doing here is you can actually go to in the light source, it has a spot where you can set the state to visible or not visible in the scene. And that's what's happening here. So we have the E key press with a flip-flop. So A is setting visibility and B is turning it off, essentially. And then you probably can guess what that is. It lets us turn the light on and off. So pretty cool stuff. And then I basically, the cube is just kind of like the door, except I set it to loop infinitely. So now I have a rotating cube. Now I could probably set this to where like the timeline was automatically going, and instead of having it on an E press, by having it automatically going, you can imagine that if I got like some platforms and stuff, you could make a platformer pretty easy with this functionality just by simply taking some foundations and, you know, with some sort of textures and applying a rotation. You can have rotating things. You can have them rotating in different directions and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. So, okay, that's that. So I don't think I need that open, which this is that here. So for the cube, press E, it plays the timeline, and then, you know, on, you know, it's got A, and then when you press it again, it has stop. So you press it once to play, you press it again to stop, gets rotation and that. And then depending on where you plug it in, right, it determines which direction it rotates. You have your X, Y, and Z axis. So the door opens up like that. So that's on the Z axis. I have the cube currently rotating on the X axis. because I wanted it to be slightly different in terms. So yeah, that's my little that's my rotating cube and door and light source. Pretty simple stuff, but I don't know, it's kind of cool because, you know, I haven't really made or done anything like that. So I don't know, I'm guessing Rob's probably still having troubles, or he gave up, went somewhere else. That's weird that he couldn't join. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might have to message him after stream or whatever, try to figure out a solution, because that's gonna bug me now, knowing that my friend's probably been wanting to hang out with me for a little bit and he just can't join. That's gonna annoy the crap out of me. It's just gonna be in the back of my head, just bugging the living shit out of me. But I think what we're gonna do now, for right now, I don't have a whole lot of time left, so we might not even be able to finish this. But what we're going to do is we are going to make a simple... I'm still figuring it out. I can join Kyle's Discord, not yours. Don't know why. That is really weird. I would like to fix it, because I would really like to be able to, for you to join my Discord, because, you know, that's where I hang out most of the time, and you're always welcome here, obviously. So it's like, that's gonna bug me, so I do want to fix it. However, if you do want to just chat for right now, I'll join Kyle's if you want. I could just hop over there. Are you in it right now? So I don't see you in it. Yeah, I don't see you in it. I could join this right now. I don't know which one you guys hang out in. Probably Rob's Subway Sandwich. I'll just join over here. There you go. I'm in that one, so feel free. Hey, what's up, man?
Yep.
How you been?
I'm good.
That's good news, man. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. That's really weird.
I do not know why either.
I'll have to get that figured out at some point. So, anything new with you?
No.
Fair enough. I have too much that's new with me that I wish wasn't new with me. Mostly to do with my idiot brother, but that's besides the point. So, yeah. Long story short, my brother doesn't live with me anymore. I've more or less kicked him out. So.
Hey everybody, it's Taken Grace, and love to bring you this tutorial series here. So I'm sure you guys saw the trailer. We're going to be doing a fully inventory system with the UI, as well as a health system as well. So that first video will be for the health system. We're going to be breaking this down into two parts. First part, we're going to actually do the logic for the health system, and the second part, we're going to do the UI for the health. And let's get started. So, a third-person template.
I know. Once I finally do get this Unreal Engine stuff figured out, if I can, you know, stick with it more, get to learning it, when I finally start making games, like I've always said, you get free games. Any game that Saiyan makes, Rob gets for free. That's just how it works. He's my friend.
Start with that. Name it whatever you need to name it. Create. Alright, so we're inside our third-person template. First thing I kind
of watched this while I was at work a little bit, and I
control space. You can bring that up. It's a quick shortcut here. So the third-person folder, I just don't like input and maps. I'm just gonna move straight into content, and it'll say blah blah blah. I need to find our place. Yeah, I say okay. The maps we are gonna also move to content. Blueprints. We're gonna move our third-person character. Well, first I'm going to rename. So we need to create a couple of things here. The first thing we're going to do is right-click and make it.
Okay, I do not need these captions. Get off
a new folder and call it UI. We'll open that up, and we're going to go into make a blueprint class here, and it's going to be a custom one here called HUD. There we go. So by default, the third-person template is going to be a C++ HUD.
Whoops. I typing that in the wrong spot. You... Crazy? I'm typing that in and nothing's popping up. Oh, probably here. Oh, that's this animation.
We'll open that up. And we're going to go into make a blueprint class here. And it's
going... that's what I missed. Okay, I was like, what the hell is going on? Alright, all classes. HUD. He chose that one. I just say my HUD probably. I'll see what he names it.
Going to be a custom one here called HUD. There we go. So by default, the third-person template is going to be a C++ for the HUD class. We want to make one that we can actually edit the blueprints inside. So we're going to make select this, and we'll call it HUD class.
I named it HUD class. I suppose I'll keep mine similar. Maybe if I spell that right. All right.
But I'll make sure that capital L is not there because that'll bug me the entire time we do this tutorial. All right, we'll do that. And then next thing we need to do is we need to go to our characters, right click, blueprint class, player controller. We're making a player controller for the same reason we're making the HUD classes. The controller is in C++ and we need one for to write some code in. Player controller. Okay, let's go into our game mode. And now we need to actually change these. So whenever you call like get player character, get player controller in the blueprint editor, this is what it's referencing here. So we need to make sure that our HUD class is our HUD class that we just made. And then the player...
I might need to copy everything.
First thing I like to do is just clean up the content drawer. If you hit Control Space, you can bring that up. Quick shortcut here. So the third person folder, I just don't like. Input and maps, I'm just going to move straight into content.
Yeah, let me just do everything you're doing. I didn't want in the content thing, I just wanted it to collapse, but I guess whatever. Third person. Shit. Those.
And it'll say blah blah blah, I need to find or place. Yeah, say okay. The maps we are going to also move to and content drawer. If you hit Control Space, you can bring that up. It's a quick shortcut here. So the third person folder, I just don't like. Input and maps, I'm just going to move straight into content.
Oh, whoops. I did that wrong. Input. Shift, move those into here. There we go.
And it'll say blah blah blah, I need to find or place. Yeah, say okay. The maps, we are going to also move to content. Blueprints, we're going to move our third-person character. Well, first I'm going to rename him BP character, because that's... or player, sorry. BP player. Move that into characters. And our game mode...
BP underscore
just gonna put it in its own folder. New folder, game mode. Game mode, move here. All right, and yes. Third person, bye-bye. We don't need.
delete. I just deleted this. Did I delete the wrong thing? Why is this not deleting? Go away. Okay. I need to delete this first. I don't know why it's not letting me delete that. Whatever.
So we need to create a couple of things here. The first thing we're going to do is right click and make a new folder and call it UI. We'll open that up. And we're going to go into make a blueprint class here, and it's going to be a custom one here called HUD. There we go. So by default, the third person template is going to be a C++ for the HUD class. We want to make one that we can actually edit the blueprints inside. So we're going to make select this, and we'll call it HUD class. But I'll make sure that that capital L is not there, because that'll bug me the entire time when we do this tutorial. All right, we'll do that. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to go to our characters, right click, blueprint class, player controller. We're making a player controller for the same reason we're making the HUD classes. The controller is in C++, and we need one for to write some code in. Player controller. Okay, let's go into our game mode. And now we need to actually change these. So whenever you call like get player character, get player controller in the Okay, let's go into our game mode. And now we need to actually change these. So whenever you call like get player character, get player controller in the blueprint editor, this is what it's referencing here. So we need to make sure that our HUD class is our HUD class that we just made. And then the player controller class will need to be the BP player controller. Hit pile, and then we're all done with that. And now we can actually get started with our inventory. Call it components. Components will play. I spelled that right. There we go. Yep. Open that guy up. We're going to right click and go blueprint class, actor component. So what a component is, obviously when we make our player character, we're going to be adding stuff. Actor component. So what a component is, obviously when we make our player character, we're going to be adding stuff like a collision sphere, a camera, movement. All those are components. So we're going to make a component that we can attach to a bunch of different blueprints. So you have a destructible item, you want to have some health, you have an enemy that you want to have some health, and obviously our player, we want to have some health. So we're going to make a component that's going to run all the logic for the health, and then we can plug it into whatever we want, and we only have to do the logic ones. We'll call this health. We're going to click on that guy, bring this over here. So we're going to create a couple of variables. The first few we're going to make, we'll do here, so we'll do a new variable. It's going to be a boolean, and we're going to check if we're dead. Dead. Another one called current health, obviously to track the actual health of our object. Make it a float. Make another one, and we'll call it max health. So we obviously want to be able to upgrade our max health throughout the game, so we want to be able to change that dynamically. So these two should be instance editable. All right. So on event begin play, we're going to want to set our current health by holding Alt and dragging out our max health, holding Alt. Whoops, what happened there? Max.
Current health, max health. Let's save. So I think I'm caught up.
Health, though I push space, not Alt. Let's drag these up, and we're going to set them as themselves because we're going to be editing them in each instance of the health component. So we want them to be set as whatever that is set as inside each object. We also want to get a...
So, current health, max health, so, setting these, current health, tick can go down there.
Reference to our HUD class. So we're going to get actor of class. We'll type HUD class. The reason we're doing this is we want to be able to reference our HUD later to run some specific events. So we're going to promote this to a variable. We'll just name it HUD. And it's as easy as that. So we're going to make 3 functions.
Make sure I did that right. Trying to
class. The reason we're doing this is we want to be able to reference our HUD later to run some specific events. So we're going to promote this to a variable.
Okay. So far we're on begin play. We are setting our current health, our max health. We're getting our HUD actor class, and then we are setting that. Okay.
We'll just name it HUD. And HUD class.
What?
The reason we're doing this is we want to be able to reference our HUD later to run some specific events. So we're going to promote this to a variable. We'll just name it HUD.
Oh, it made it over here.
And it's as easy as that. So we're going to make 3 functions now inside this health component. We're going to go here, add a new function. We're going to call it player, or sorry, just take damage. Take damage. Because it's not necessarily our player just taking damage, it's whatever is implementing this component. We'll do gain health as a new function. One more function, and we'll call it death. Okay, let's start with take damage. We're going to be inside take damage. We're going to click on our input node, and we're going to add a input of a health, or sorry, damage. Jeez, why can't I spell damage today? There we go. That'll be a float. All right.
Guys, moving.
Take damage. We're going to be inside take damage. We're going to click on our input node, and we're going to add a input of a health, or sorry, damage. Jeez, why can't I spell damage today? There we go. That'll be a float. All right, so the first thing we want to do in this blueprint is we're going to want to check and see if we're dead. So we're going to drag this out. We're going to get dead. Another shortcut here, if you drag out of a Boolean and push B, it'll make a branch for you with it connected. So that saves you a bit of time. So obviously we want to check if we're dead. We do not want to take additional damage if we're dead. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our damage, and we are going to we'll get a minus node, but we're gonna put the damage on the bottom one, and then we're gonna take our current health and we're gonna subtract that.
Okay, so probably subtract. Okay, current health. Okay.
From our damage. So make sure current health is on top, or else you'll get a 0. And then out of this, we do want to set...
Oh, I see. He dragged it out, but you have to unpin it, because... How do I do that? Oh, it's Alt to do that. And health goes on top. Okay, that way it's...
Our current health. However, we don't want our current health to ever be lower than 0, because that might make us miss our dead event, because we're going to be checking in a second if we have 0 health. So we're going to get a clamp. We're going to get clamp float. So this node will restrict the number to 0 and whatever the max is, in this case, which we are max health. Anyways, from this value we are going to set our current health. So we're going to come out of dead if we are not dead. So coming out of the false branch. And we're going to set that guy. Following.
Set current health. This goes in. This goes down. Hit goes into the return value. Something like that.
Okay. Setting our current health, we are now going to check. We're going to drag out of here and get an equals node. Does it equal 0? If it does, oh, that is not the right node. If it does, we are dead. So out of the true branch, we're going to grab our death function, and we're going to run that.
Okay, so if we get our death function. Okay.
And then if we are not dead, we are going to go return. Whoops, return, and we'll plug that guy in just like that. Okay, so that's take damage. Nothing too complicated. Our death function, and we're going to run that. And then if we are not dead, we are going to go return. Whoops, return. And we'll plug that guy in, just like that. Okay.
Okay, so let me go back over this a little bit. So we're on our take damage node. So if we are have taken damage, so we're getting our current health. So we're setting our current health, and basically whatever damage is taken is getting subtracted from our current health, over our max health, and then we are setting our current, and then we are basically checking if we're dead. So checking it, and if we are dead, it runs our death function. If we're not, it returns and checks it again. Okay, got it.
Okay, so that's take damage. Nothing too complicated. Okay, and next let's do, we'll get out of this, and we're going to do our gain health. Now gain health is going to be pretty much exactly the same minus the death stuff, so we're going to do a float input, which is going to be health to add. Okay, from there we're going to, obviously check that we're dead, because that'll be embarrassing if we gain health after we died. So once again, we'll drag out and push B. Okay, making sure we're not dead, and then we're going to set our current health from here. Like that. Alright, so health to add, we're going to add.
Man, you are fast. Set. It's coming off false, not. Okay. Got that. And then
we're gonna do.
And then we're adding health this time because we're not subtracting. So, which makes sense. That is my. Maybe it is the. Okay, it is the add function.
Current health. And then once again, we'll add a clamp float. Make this one's important that we have max health actually plugged in because we don't want to go past our max health, and that'll be the function. And then we'll hit.
Quick. Something like that, and then max health into the max. Save.
And we'll do a return.
So let's make sure all that's good. And he's about to do a return value. Return, if I can spell right, return node. Okay. So that should be completed then. All right. How much time do I have left? 8:24. Okay, so I got a little bit.
Return as well. Return. Boom, nice and easy. Finally, for the death one, we're gonna learn about something new. So we'll get out of, or we'll close gain health. We'll go inside death. For death, we're going to add a do once node. We only want to die once. We don't want gain health and, we don't want to take damage running this a couple of times before it actually sets our death variable as true, which is the thing we're doing next. So we'll just drag this out. Set is dead to true. Okay. Well, we'll do this in a second here. Actually, we'll do it now. In our event graph, in our event begin play, we want to make sure that we want to set is dead to false. Because if we die and then we respawn, this is going to be set as true, and then we'll run into some issues. So we just want to make sure that we're setting our dead as false for when we respawn back in. Okay, and finally we're going to do what's called an event dispatcher. So what we can do here, so obviously there's going to be different events running in all of the objects that are implementing this component. So we're going to add an event dispatcher to basically send a message out to whoever owns this component saying, hey, we died. Do something about it. So we're going to do on death. That's what we're going to call it. Okay, on death. Okay, we're going to grab on death and we're going to drag it out here, and you'll see that when we drop it, it'll ask us these. So we want to call it. So calling it will trigger events to happen in our individual objects, okay? All right, so we're going to hit compile. We are going to go into our player character now. BP player. We are going to do one thing here first. So where it says add input mapping, we have this cast to player.
Yeah, I actually have a few of those now, so I'm going to need to change, I think. I guess those are my other things. Wait, no, I'm in my...
BP player. We are going to do one thing here first. So where it says add input mapping, we have this cast.
Okay. Oh, they've changed it since then, so now I gotta figure out. Okay, vector add movement. So it's not that. Okay, I wonder. Input, but mapping. Okay, maybe not on the actual input mapping page. Oh, whoops, clicking on the wrong one. What was the... class BB player controller. I do not know how to fix my problem at the moment. Because these are not the same as those.
To player controller and get controller, these are referencing the old player controller. So we need to get rid of that. We are going to do one thing here first. So where it says add input,
player camera management class. Okay. Where's the game mode? It looks like they changed it. Hmm.
mapping, we have this cast to player controller and get controller. These are referencing the old player controller. So we need to get rid of that. And we need to get player controller. Now we're getting our new controller. And we need to grab this and cast to BP player controller. Okay, so now we're getting our new controller. Plug all that in, and everything is going to be super good. All right, so the first thing we'll do here, we'll go down to the bottom here. We're going to, first of all, implement our health component. Health. We've now added this health component to our player, so we can, thing we'll do here, we'll go down to the bottom here. We're going to, first of all, implement our health component. Health. We've now added this health component to our player, so we can click on it, hit compile. We're going to come over here. You can change your current health and your max.
Can't I hear?
Component to our player, so we can click on it, hit compile. We're going to come over here. You can change your current health and your max.
Okay, that's weird, but whatever. Current health. I'll just copy what he's doing at the moment. Change it later.
Okay, so now we have health set inside our player, it's not just 0, 0. And now that we have our health component over here, we can right click, add event, add on death. So this is, now we're going to tell what our player what to do when our health component calls this event. So the first thing, obviously, we want to do when we die is we want to get our player controller. And then out of here, we're going to disable input. Okay, and we're going to plug our player controller into the player controller. The target is self. This is our player. We want our player to not be able to receive input anymore. For some reason, there we go. Okay, and after that, we're going to want to do some really basic ragdoll. So we're going to grab our mesh for our character mesh. We're going to drag out of there, and we're going to set collision enabled. This guy here. Okay, and we want to set it. As collision enabled query in physics. After that, we're going to grab our mesh. We'll drag it out to here, and we'll do we'll let go, and we'll do RER, add reroute node, so you don't have to do that later. And we'll just drag out of it again, and we're going to set simulate physics. Okay, we're going to do that, and we're going to say true. Okay. All right, so when we die, we're going to disable our input. We are going to set our collision enabled as collision enabled. Set simulate physics. Okay, we're going to do that, and we're going to say true. Okay. All right, so when we die, we're going to disable our input. We are going to set our collision enabled as collision enabled, and then set simulate physics. Okay. So now that we've done these, we need to enable them by default. Kind of like we did with the dead and the health component. So we're going to make a new function. We'll call it player defaults. Okay, let's go to our event graph quick and add that before we forget. Okay, in player defaults, we are going to add a sequence node because we're probably going to want to do a couple of things here. First thing we'll do is we will enable input. We will get player controller. We're going to drag them to the player controller. We're going to grab our mesh. We're going to set sim. So we're going to do this backwards. Set simulate physics is going to be false. Really important that these are in the right order. If we go back to our event graph and down here, if we set simulate physics first before we set the collision enabled, you're going to get some errors. It's going to say we can't, because this was the default, right? No collision. It's going to say we can't simulate physics because there's no collision enabled. Right, so before you simulate physics, make sure you have this set properly and then simulate it. When you want to turn it off, make sure you disable the physics first and then do the set collision. Geez, oh boy, can't see my keyboard here. All right, so what we don't want to do no collision. We don't want to do query only, because that's what the default for the player character is. Okay, finally, we want to then just make a quick reference to our HUD, because we're going to reference it here. So we're going to just drag it here. We'll do get actor of class. It's going to be our HUD class. We don't want to do no collision. We do want to do query only, because that's what the default for the player character is. Okay, finally, we want to then just make a quick reference to our HUD, because we're going to reference it here. So we're going to just drag it here. We'll do get actor of class. It's going to be our HUD class. We're going to promote that to a variable, and we'll call it HUD. All right. So that is all the logic done for our health component. So in the next video, we're going to do the actual UI for our health, so we can see it all work in action. If you guys like the video, please subscribe. Class. We're going to promote that to a variable, and we'll call it HUD. All right. So that is all the logic done for our...
Okay. So... see. Call this on death. Make it red. I think I'll make all things that are need it, I can do that. Oh, no. Those are... Alright. Compile and save. Blueprint class. That way I don't get confused later. Alright.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second video for the health system in our UI tutorial series. So the last video we made our health component and we implemented it into our player character, and we then did a couple of things.
got some time to do that. So Rob, what you up to? Alright guys, I know I didn't really talk much and stuff, but I was kind of dialed in here. We'll try to do some more, and I'll try to be more talkative and stuff. The only problem is I gotta be heading out. It's like 9 o'clock. So I hope you guys liked what you saw. I kind of joined chat and was wanting to... Oh, okay, now there goes my FPS as soon as I'm ending stream. Alright.